Hello, and welcome to this episode of Comprehending Consciousness. My name is Allie with A. Marie Speaks, and today's episode is number 27, and I'm going to be talking about the black pill. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me. I have 20-something of their episodes on all kinds of phrases and terms that are from the New Age community, or like the woke kind of out there counterculture spiritual community that has been coagulating out here for a couple decades now. Things are really starting to trickle down into the mainstream, right? And so a lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are realizing they want to enjoy their life. They want to actually have a good life, and they don't want to be told what to do or infringed upon or bossed around, right? So more and more people are waking up and looking up to the spiritual community and kind of wondering, what it's all about. And so I created this series to hopefully bridge the gap and just provide a bit of working examples to the underbelly, of these kinds of words. So many of them, are kind of seen as superficial or frivolous. And so it's my hopes to kind of give a more detailed description of these words, to sort of clear the ground around them and really assess them and look at them for what they are, or what they can be, versus kind of what we're fed with, because taking the plastered over generic, here you go, this is what it is, this is a really closed concept, closed in conscious awareness, right? You're just taking what's given to you, and you're not really assessing it. You're not really asking any questions about it. And that is very 3D based. As we're talking about waking up and ascending and moving right into 5D, or however you want to envision it, what it really is about is opening up that level of consciousness, right? Taking that time and having self-responsibility to look at subjects, topics, terms from multiple angles, from multiple perspectives. Not to say you have to have them and incorporate them. You have to agree even. It's just for expansion of understanding. And better choice making through such, right? More harmonious solutions come when you know all sides and you work with others better for the same reason, right? And so that's my little rant here about my entire series. This is my passion and motivation behind it. So today, what am I talking about, right? The black pill. I did the red pill recently, a couple of episodes ago. I think I did 19 was the red pill. I'll link that below in case anybody's interested. But just as a quick refresher, in case you're new to the pill terms, it's a reference to the Matrix movies, obviously, or not so obviously, in case you never saw them, maybe, or you don't remember that or anything. But anyways, in the Matrix movie, basically, he's offered two different choices: the red or the blue pill, right? You take the red pill, and you see how far the rabbit hole goes, right? Or you take the blue pill and you just go back to the Matrix. Nothing ever happened. And that concept in its own is such a working. It's such a beautiful metaphor. It's such a place of reminding ourselves that we are eternally balancing that choice of truth or lies, comfort and ignorance, or comfort and blindness, or maybe openness, but it's a little scary, right? Truth, but it's risky. Transparent, but worth it. And I talked a bit about that in the red pill. So if you want to learn more about that version, then check out the red pill video. With the black pill, the dichotomy that's being brought up. Excuse me, it's early and I'm just drinking my coffee and getting going here. Stumbling on my words because I'm excited. But the dichotomy that's brought up with this next level, this sort of truthers angle that they've now made the black pill and the white pill out of this, because those pills aren't part of the matrix, I don't think. But anyways, it's kind of evolved into the black pill and the white pill. So the concept here is truth when you're seeking it, and when you decide to take the red pill every time, right? You play that balancing game with yourself, and you try to choose truth and transparency all the time. That open conscious awareness space, it comes with this working of dark and light, black pill, white pill. Overwhelm, heaviness, no purpose, comes along with the black pill, right? The darkness, and the white pill is the light, is the trust, is the faith, is the goodness, is the righteousness overcoming things, right? And so that in itself is such a beautiful, working. And just like the seeking of truth is a beautiful working. This black pill idea with the white pill, it parallels shadow work to me. And I talk about shadow work all the time. I have a bunch of videos on it, write a lot about it. I do podcasts on it. So if that kind of working sparks your interest, or you feel a desire to do it, but you're unsure how, or you feel bogged down, or you feel like you've had a lot of trauma, or you have a lot of clearing to do, shadow and light work is the key to everything. So I highly encourage doing some research around it and getting comfortable with it. I'll try to link some videos or podcasts on the general topic in case people are interested in diving into that at this point. But as far as for today's video, I want to try to keep it short. I try to keep these 10 to 20 minutes and on topic. So just know that it's a great mirroring understanding that this is really what I'm talking about when we're talking about the black pill and the white pill. But the black pill, in kind of the mainstream version, and there's great memes and stuff, and I talked about this in the last episode, the NPCs episode I did, about like the memes and the counterculture of the truthers who are super funny and just like breaking the matrix from within with humor. I think that's so important, and there's so many funny black pill memes too that are so relatable, and a ton of them are like these like crinkled up kind of like sketchy like drawn stick people who are just like covered in, I don't know, like black scratched out, and like they just look so down on life, and there's no hope or something. And that's kind of the ultimate definition of what mainstream is seeing as like the black pill, right? And that is true. And it's very important for us truthers when we're making this decision here. We're trying to look for the truth, that we remember what we're bringing in has an energetic tone, a polarity to it, a charge, right? It's negative or positive. This is the duality working. This is why it's important for us to remember, and I hope truthers out there will start to grasp this working, because we could really, really use them to wake up more in the spiritual sense, and not in a dogmatic way either, but just to understand this idea of where our energy and fuel comes when we're doing working, when we're seeking truth. Because when we seek truth, essentially we are doing it from this space of seeing it for what it is, right? For assessing it, for putting our light, literally shining light onto darkness to see what's there, what the shadows really are, assess them for what they are, and get them to go where they need to go, or move forward through them, or find a harmonious solution, right? Assist, if it's something like that. That's why we seek the truth, right? To correct, to find the rightness in it, whatever it is. Now, when we just go digging in rabbit holes and we just go down and we get into researching, reading all these things, exposing our imagination space, our energetic space, our souls, our minds, our bodies, to the nonsense, the lies, the deceptions, all of the 3D matrix constructs that are there. And boy, they are thick. They've had fertile ground to grow these things in, you know? So when we're going in and trying to sort through and do the work and dig in to find the truth in there, we're expending bits of our light, our energy source, while we're doing that. And the way that the interactions are happening, the give and take that's happening when you're expending your light in trying to find truth in lies, it's charged, it's energetic. And so we have to remember that there's a balancing of energy happening, right? What's your energy balancing towards? Are you gaining a more negative polarity, or are you being able to gain a positive polarity? Well, if you think of it in a general metaphor of digging down into a rabbit hole, say to try to find the truth, and you're getting down into the darker pits, getting down here, you're farther away from where the truth, where light, source, the sun, actual goodness is, where you pull light from, right? You're getting farther and farther away from it, down in those holes, and you're expending your light as you're down there, and you're gaining a negative charge while you're down there because you're sifting through, you're doing work, you're inhabited by, and it's an energetic osmosis of the ether that we're continually having contact with, right? And there's many tricks and traps, and I don't want to get this video too long, but I really do want to put this excuse me, put this out there in this black pill video. While we're doing this digging down there, so many of us don't understand the concept of energetic work and light and shadow. And so we're thinking we're still being fueled by the truth, and we need more. We have to find more evidence. Well, we have to find more of this. We have to find another proof. We have to find, like, what is this next? It will always, they're just breadcrumbs that you find of more and more. And the trickery and the mind control of the 3D matrix and the rabbit holes, the slippery slopes of this, right? They are tricking you, and you're gaining a more negative charge while you're down there, and you're depleting your energy source and your light. So anytime you would come across real truth, if you really would get down to finally find the gold, or whatever, say the gold is the truth, you want to shine your light on it, you need to have strong light at that point to shine down in there, to assess and see for real truth, and pull back up that out of the rabbit hole, right? Bring it out for everybody to see. Into the light. But you've expended yourself so much down there all this time that you don't have the strength anymore to do that when you do find it, right? And therein lies this layer of manipulation that so many truthers and even myself, it's a work in progress, but we get stuck and we don't watch our gauge of energy while we're doing the digging, and before we know it, we've depleted ourselves completely. And this is what the black pill is. You get to a rock bottom. You get lost in the rabbit holes, and you forget your way out. You're in the middle of the labyrinth, and it's all weighing down on you. You have seen so many of the atrocities. You have seen it happen again and again and again, and it will look like no way out. It will look like you just can't go on. And that's the black pills. And so another way of looking at it, instead of like looking down, getting stuck down in rabbit holes, it's like each time you find one of these, like these more depressing, bad atrocity things that, or things that just don't work out or whatever, it's like eating a black pill, and it's poisoning you each time and depleting your energy, right? And you could overdose on them if you eat too many. And it can be a really overwhelming bad place to be at. And so many truthers get really stuck in there, and they forget all about how important and crucial the light in the white pill is. And some of them don't even see the value in the white pill. And and that's a whole other mind trap that the negative systems and alignments and the archons, they get people wrapped in, because they don't understand that there is duality to seeking, and they're just feeding off of your seeking energy. They're just feeding off of your shadow and tricking you that you're going to find truth one day, or even they give you the bits of truth, but because your energy and your light is low, you'll never be able to shine it bright enough to do anything for them, to change that truth, to make them face their truth. Because that's really the point, and this one I'm going to end with because the video is getting kind of loud, but long, excuse me. That's the whole point, right? Is to be shining our light and forcing what has been shadowed to be seen for what it is, not how it wants to be seen, not in this contorted way where it could distort light and choose and feed deceptions up to us and say, oh yeah, everything's good down in here, the dark, this is the way it is down here, and kind of cast a reflection back at us. And you have a depleted light source, depleted energy, truth, recognition, and consciousness, right? So you see the reflection, you think it's what you're seeing, and you're like, oh yeah, yep, this is what it is. And in that consent to their shadow, you're feeding them. You're dropping your truth, your light, into a frequency that is harmonious to them, and they can just siphon it right off of you when you do that. If you were to say no, if you had full light chart, you would see the reflection off of there and, you know, be able to cast it through and get them to be seen, or get the truth to be seen. But it's very important that everybody gets to a place where we can do seeking from heart space and have real, actual emotional intention with it, because that's the slice of the pie that we're missing. And if we could grasp that as a whole, as the collective, and especially as that truthers collective, if they could gain that for themselves and start to do more honest assessments of themselves and their alignment, their polarity, bring in things that feel great for them, find your real, true seeking purpose. Don't fall for the tricks, the traps, and the rabbit holes. Just know they're there and say, yeah, I see you. You're a pack of lies down there. I'm not going searching down there. The truth is not down there. And you cast your light down in there so bright that when you do that with a sacredness, you will see what needs to be seen down there. You see the truth from the top, because you're standing in true light. And you know, I don't need to go down into that nasty pit full of tar and crap and get lost down in there. I see your trap for what it is. I'm not feeding you. And then you offer light and service. Hey, does anybody want to come up out of there? Is anybody sick of being trapped in that pit hell down there? Because I see you all down there. And maybe you might see somebody. You might see a hand. You might say, hey, help me, help me. I hate it down here. And you then can just pull them up from standing up there. You don't go down in there and climb in there and you get in the swamp with them. If you do, you better be strong enough to get back out. Because if you're not, you're blackpilled. You're going to be stuck in there. You're going to get stuck in this phase of nothing will work. Everything sucks. Nothing ever changes. I'll never get out. Or, you know, you'll be worried about the evil taking over. You'll be all stuck in fear and worry about possibly getting, you know, trapped in some kind of enslavement or in, you know, Satan or whatever it is. The evil people or AI or aliens that are coming to conquer us or whatever. There's infinite workings for them to determine your ultimate slavery over there, if you ever so choose to even think about saying yes to them. But if you just say, no, thank you, I'm not eating your pills, or you take white pills with the black, or you look at it as a balancing work, you won't get sucked into that and they can't bother you. And you can do great working out here. And you can really help others. Okay, so I rambled on for almost 20 minutes. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode 27 on the black pill. I think I'm going to do, or I have started, I don't know if I'm going to continue with it or not, but I've started kind of a deep dive, insider's view on the black pill, to kind of give my experience on this last shadow working cycle I had, where I feel like I'm approaching black pill, how I work around it, how I work through it and stuff. So I'm going to re-go over that, maybe do some editing on it since I have some editing software now, and add a couple things in since I did this episode now. And perhaps I'll share that as an insider's view after. But for now, this is episode 27. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope it's been enlightening. And I hope you have a beautiful day or evening wherever in the world you are. You can always find me over on Telegram or Spotify, A. Marie Speaks. And I'll catch you next time.